Daniel Lapin presents 10 Commandments for Achieving Financial Prosperity. Historically, Jewish individuals have been recognized for their business skills. This entrepreneurial talent has often been portrayed negatively. Yet the wealth-generating abilities attributed to Jewish people are now seen as admirable traits. What factors contribute to Jewish success in business, and how can it inspire others? The prosperity of Jews in business is deeply intertwined with their religious texts and oral traditions. The Torah, Talmud, and other teachings have shaped Jewish life for centuries. These insights reveal how anyone aspiring for success can draw motivation from these rich sources. Chapter 1. Of 9, education is the key to Jewish success in business. Contrary to popular misconceptions, education drives Jewish success in business. Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice depicts the Jewish character, Shylock, as a money-obsessed villain. This stereotype has endured and affected perceptions of Jewish entrepreneurs across generations. There are numerous unfounded theories regarding Jewish business success. One silly notion claims that Jews have inherited a money gene through survival from persecution. It is believed that only affluent Jews could escape hardship by purchasing their safety, leading to wealth being associated with future generations. Another harmful belief suggests that Jewish people are inherently dishonest. Yet the Torah explicitly emphasizes honesty in business dealings. Cheating is, in fact, a sin against God. Some suggest that Jews are part of a secretive society. While community plays a vital role in Jewish life, the argumentative nature of Jews makes such claims unrealistic. Additionally, the stereotype of Jews being exceptionally intelligent does not correlate with business success, as those with high IQs typically pursue academia or science. Success often stems from a solid education established in the home and synagogue. Jewish households are usually filled with books, leading to high literacy rates throughout history. This nurturing of knowledge explains the large volume of annual publications on Jewish themes, despite Jews being just 0.2% of the global population. Oral traditions are continually shared, emphasizing sacrifice for future rewards, instilling the idea that dedication today can yield a prosperous tomorrow. Chapter 2 of 9. Business is viewed as a noble and morally sound pursuit in Jewish tradition. Lesson number 2. In Jewish culture, business is considered a good and morally upright endeavor. It is common for politicians and media to villainize corporations, undermining the job creation and philanthropy stemming from the private sector. On a personal level, engaging in a meaningful business can elevate an individual's self-worth. Participating in a noble business venture can resemble how a patient feels better in a clinical trial, even with a placebo. Guided by Torah teachings, Jews are encouraged to incorporate ethics into their money-making efforts. Jewish wisdom imparts that only through the approval of one's peers can a venture achieve success. This acknowledgement fuels the passion and motivation driving business endeavors. Moreover, ethical behavior is crucial. Identifying oneself as morally upright reduces the chances of straying into illegality or immorality. If one evades consequences after unethical behavior, temptation often resurfaces, but atonement serves as a corrective measure. Atonement allows believers to reconnect with God and reset after committing wrongs. However, to reset, learning from past mistakes is essential, which can help curb temptation to repeat undesirable behaviors. Interestingly, Jews initially entered banking to provide a valuable service to others. Lending money is regarded as a charitable act, allowing people to establish their businesses while retaining dignity and freedom. This counters the myth that Jews turn to banking solely to escape oppression. Unlike Christians and Muslims, who restrict interest through a literal interpretation of the Bible, Jewish traditions permit conditional interest. Chapter 3 of 9 Jewish Customs Guide. Successful relationship building and networking. Jewish customs offer valuable lessons on fostering meaningful relationships and strong networks. With an understanding of the virtuous reasons for embarking on a business journey, it's essential to explore how tradition shapes successful professional connections. In traditional Jewish workplaces, colleagues often feel like family. For authentic relationships to blossom, sincerity is vital. Individuals can easily detect inauthentic behavior, and forced camaraderie will ultimately fail. Friends and family members can inspire business success as well. Richard Simon, for instance, was inspired to create the publishing powerhouse Simon & Schuster through relationships in his life. Observing his grandmother and her friend joyfully completing Sunday crossword puzzles sparked his idea for a puzzle book. This endeavor transformed into a thriving publishing giant. The communal aspect of Jewish life fosters an extensive network of connections. Traditional prayer requires a quorum, known as a minyan, allowing businessmen to forge new relationships wherever they go. This ever-expanding network offers constant opportunities for growth. There are teachings that help develop fruitful relationships by enhancing self-understanding and awareness of how one is perceived by others. Gaining insight into how others view us encourages personal transformation, allowing deeper relationships to flourish. These concepts are rooted in Musar, ancient Jewish literature that promotes inner change. Chapter 4 of 9 Business, despite imperfections, can be a fulfilling endeavor. Business isn't without its flaws, yet Jewish traditions emphasize that imperfection is not inherently negative. Are you a perfectionist? Do you find yourself investing excessive hours to achieve flawless results? Pursuing perfection is ultimately unachievable, as nothing is perfect, particularly in business. The concept of ethical capitalism teaches us that learning from others forms the foundation of business practices, but can also lead to corruption. We should avoid blaming the entire system for the misdeeds of a few individuals. It's important to see business as separate from the people who misuse it. Take Bernie Madoff, for example. His Ponzi scheme exemplified how an individual can exploit trust and deceive many. Madoff bears the responsibility, not capitalism as a whole. Maintaining moral practices poses challenges, as every action can create both positive and negative consequences. Consider Andrew Carnegie, a prominent historical figure. While he improved society, he also harmed others significantly. Although Pullman was instrumental in expanding U.S. railroads, he mistreated his workers through high charges for basic needs. Many employees found themselves in debt to Pullman beyond their earnings. Despite its shortcomings, business doesn't have to be malicious, and Jewish traditions illustrate how to operate ethically within the system. It's said that greed drives the business world, but Jewish teachings emphasize the necessity of self-provisioning before aiding others. Additionally, business can reflect God's creativity, serving as a source of growth and invention. Moreover, business may be blamed for societal inequities. However, without it, there would be no wealth to sustain economies, and it is the government's role to ensure fair wealth distribution. Chapter 5 of 9 leadership traits often emerge during turbulent times. Great leaders typically share specific traits shaped during challenging periods. What qualities define effective leaders? History reveals that successful leaders often have followers. Moses, an exemplary leader, had God as his mentor. They also possess clear visions and persuasive abilities, articulating how they will achieve their goals. God's vision materialized in the world. His ultimate goal is the Sabbath, which Jews celebrate weekly. Moreover, leaders must confront necessary challenges. The story of Joseph illustrates this. Driven by jealousy, his brothers plotted against him, but Judah, instead of opposing them, suggested selling Joseph into slavery. This compromise cost him his leadership role. Had he confronted his brothers, he might have prevented the plot against Joseph. Effective leaders harness faith in various forms. Daily prayer represents one aspect of faith, while self-confidence plays a crucial role in inspiring confidence in others to achieve collective goals. Their demeanor conveys respect, similar to how the Talmud regards the lion as the king of beasts, owing to its dignified stance. It's important to remember that leadership does not have a singular definition. It encompasses various roles. Many become leaders under extraordinary conditions, such as New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who emerged as a leader during the chaotic aftermath of 9/11, effectively guiding the city through hardship. Chapter 6 of 9 Embracing change while staying grounded leads to success. Success often favors those who welcome change while remaining true to their roots. Many people find change daunting, yet as we navigate life, we continuously grow and evolve. Judaism encourages the acceptance of human uniqueness and the inevitability of change throughout life. By embracing change, we can transform it into an asset. The Star of David symbolizes this concept with its 2 triangles. One triangle represents established entities, God, humanity, and the physical realm, while the other triangle signifies readiness for change. Although change may be uncomfortable initially, it can ultimately be rewarding. Businesses that resist change risk failure, as seen in the numerous companies that faltered when cast iron was replaced by steel. Those that adapted survived, introduced innovations, and thrived. Judaism emphasizes the importance of gradual change, particularly evident during significant life events that unfold over several days. Progress involves remaining connected to constant aspects of life while inviting change where necessary. Successful businesses maintain alignment with core values and mission statements while remaining open to new opportunities. Disney exemplifies this practice, merging its dedication to wholesome entertainment with acquisitions like Miramax for broader appeal. Ensure that your company's foundation lies in genuine values, not solely in outside capital. Here's a cautionary tale of a family of jewelers in Montreal. In the late 90s, they relocated to Los Angeles for the dot-com boom, but faced losses during the economic downturn. They returned home to Montreal and found success once again. Chapter 7. Of 9 to anticipate the future, examine the trends affecting your business. Many people dread the uncertainty of the future. However, you can reduce unpredictability through accurate forecasting, a skill that can be developed. According to the Talmud, wise individuals differentiate themselves from prophets by observing current events and predicting their future impact. Anyone can cultivate this skill, provided they remain free of ego and personal ambitions. Ego can obscure reality, as seen with Neville Chamberlain and Winston Churchill, whose contrasting approaches to Hitler exhibit the impact of unchecked ambition. Accurate forecasts require individuals to grasp relevant trends rather than master every market variable. For instance, tech professionals should monitor internet regulations, while those in the auto sector should track trade regulations impacting material prices. Anticipation arises from keen analysis of past and present events. Generally, stable economies remain unchanged until disrupted by external forces. For example, gold prices typically stabilize in times of minimal inflation and unrest. Recently, gold prices remained steady amid inflation until investors discerned Russia's selling import to combat inflation. Once the interference halted, gold prices rose as expected. Observing trends aids understanding, particularly in industries like fashion where discerning next year's trends can drive sales. Chapter 8. Of 9, money is integral to our identity, and generosity yields benefits. Revenue is intertwined with our identity, and there are advantages to philanthropic efforts. The age-old saying that time equals money holds merit. Yet that's just one facet of the equation. The story of Joseph in the Talmud teaches us that we embody the concept of money, as it is inextricably linked with our essence. Our possessions, time, dignity, creativity, can all be quantified financially, paving the way for a healthier relationship with money. Furthermore, money creates trust. Whenever someone receives payment for services rendered, it symbolizes reliability. Money also conveys reputation, as Ford's acquisition of Jaguar and Volvo was primarily motivated by their esteemed branding rather than tangible assets. In Hebrew, one term for money is zuz, which translates to move. Hence, money should circulate, and when it stagnates, economies can falter. Money should not be hoarded, but used for charitable causes, fostering additional wealth creation. Jewish wisdom affirms that giving holds greater spiritual rewards for the giver than the recipient, a notion echoing through U.S. tax laws favoring charitable donations. Surprisingly, one effective way to increase your income is to be generous. People shy away from desperate business partners hoarding resources, preferring those with a reputation for charity. However, while generosity may invite rewards, it's essential to give primarily for moral reasons. Chapter 9. Of 9, embrace a mindset of continual engagement. The aphorism, "Thou shalt not retire," encapsulates an important idea. Life, like business, is a journey rather than a destination. Individuals should not eagerly anticipate retirement, as there is no need to halt contributions to society at a certain age. Retiring equates to ceasing to offer value and hampers potential. Imagine yourself as an Olympic runner. Once you reach the finish line, you shouldn't abruptly stop. Rather, keep moving, albeit at a slower pace. Avoid obsessing over achieving retirement, as this can skew your perception of life and may lead to preemptively slowing down. Opt instead to remain active and productive as you age. At 65, Harlan Sanders was nearly broke, frustrated with his meager retirement checks. In those 15 years, he successfully built the Kentucky Fried Chicken empire. Many are misled by 3 misconceptions about retirement. The first misconception is that work lacks intrinsic value, being seen merely as a means to an end. Jewish tradition challenges this by asserting that work cultivates dignity and transformative potential. The second false notion posits that older individuals become less productive. While physical jobs may induce decline, other roles often lead to greater productivity over time. Lastly, the idea that people are mere consumers rather than creators undermines the spiritual connection gained through wealth creation, especially as age deepens spiritual awareness. Conclusion. In summary, thank you for engaging with our insights from Thou Shalt Prosper by Daniel Lapin. Rabbi Lapin imparts valuable wisdom for achieving business success and wealth creation rooted in ancient Jewish teachings. These principles are applicable in contemporary business contexts. Embrace the mindsets and habits of an insightful networker. While networking may seem a tool for quick connections, strive for depth in relationships, viewing them as spiritual connections. Approach your business network as a lasting, beneficial partnership that serves both your interests and those of your collaborators. Thank you for watching. We invite you to share your thoughts, which is quick and easy in the comment section.